Welcome in. This season, Crown Royal is supporting the local communities that serve us off the field at kickoffwithcrown.com. I'm Eric Casillas, Emery Hunt, Jonathan Jones. Denver and the Chargers are now both 6-5. Denver's won the head-to-head meeting. They're actually ahead in the standings. It's not like it's 2-3 games in. It's 11 games in. I know it's a little of both, but are we more overrating the Chargers or underrating Denver? Because you know the perception is the Chargers are a lot better, except you are what your record says you are.
Correct. And I also feel like we're underrating Denver. When you look at Denver and what they do well, they can run the football. Teddy Bridgewater is playing efficient football, throwing the ball. You saw a rushing touchdown from Teddy, a stiff arm from Teddy. But what I like most about Denver is their defense is getting healthier. They're getting Bradley Chubb back out there on the field, rushing the passer. We know their secondary can really turn the ball over. Patrick Surtain II had 2 interceptions. He could have had a third on that drive in which he ended up with the interception. Justin Simmons dropped an interception today. So they're flying around the football. They're turning the ball over. Their defense will keep them in ball games. And if their offense just plays efficient, they can win more than what we saw here today. And I think this is a sign of things to come. So I would say we're underrating what the Broncos can do.
JJ, I'm going to go the other way. I think we're overrating the Chargers a little bit because I'm not sold on Denver yet. I mean, look, they're going to play Kansas City twice. They're going to play at Vegas.
Yep.
They're going to play at the Chargers. They got to play Cincy. I think they're about to get their comeuppance. I'll sell Denver right now. And I'm guilty. I've been on the Charger bandwagon. I love the coach. I love the quarterback. And they've let me down. I mean, they're making me look bad. I feel like I overrated the Chargers. Did I?
It certainly appears that way, right? The last couple of weeks. I would point to the 2 things. This wasn't supposed to be a world-beating defense. It was supposed to be a defense that should have been able to take care of its own. Tonight against Denver, it sort of did. Remember, of course, 7 of those points came on a pick six that, of course, was not Justin Herbert's fault. So let's put everything in perspective. Let's keep it there. Defense mostly did what you would expect it to do, at least tonight coming into the season. I'm going to focus on the offense. Justin Herbert, with that big hair and the big arm, he did not get the opportunity to sling the football down the field. On throws of 20-plus yards in the air, he went 2 of 5, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. Most of his 300 yards, a large majority of his 300 yards, came on the short and underneath stuff. It came behind the line of scrimmage, or it was just those quick crossers. They never really got Mike Williams involved deep down the field. They couldn't get Keenan Allen really beyond the sticks today. That's been a recurring theme for a couple of weeks. Mike Williams just disappeared. And this kind of falls on Joe Lombardi, the offensive coordinator, longtime coach there in New Orleans with Sean Payton and Drew Brees. This is his first year in Los Angeles, and some of that luster has worn off after the first few weeks. The other thing didn't pay that huge of an issue this week, but has been a theme throughout this season when the Chargers thought they had shaken it off, and it's special teams. This is a special teams unit. Remember last week against the Pittsburgh Steelers, had a punt blocked after a penalty, called back a very good punt that led to a touchdown. They have yet to have an opponent miss an extra point this season. 31 extra points have been attempted, 31 have been made. That's the most without a miss in the entire NFL. They are allowing more than 91% of all field goals being made. They allowed the most returns on punts and kicks in the NFL. And what happened? They missed an early field goal in this one that, if you take away that pick six, if you make that field goal earlier, maybe you're not feeling that sort of pressure late in the game. So those sorts of small things have been building. We all talk about the 4th downs, Brandon Staley and everything like that. And speaking of Brandon Staley, he went up against his old mentor in Vic Fangio, and Vic Fangio knew every button to push against his former mentee.
I look at the schedule remaining for the Chargers. Next 3 weeks, they got 2 tough games. At Cincy next week, then they get the Giants at home, then they get Kansas City. If they can somehow get 2 out of 3.
And they can.
How about this? At Houston, Denver, at Vegas to end. They'll be favored in all 3 of those games, right? So you got to figure if you're the Bolts, let me get Cincy at Cincy or Kansas City at home, and let me not slip up against the Giants, take a deep breath, and then finish up coming downhill in those last 3. Do you feel like they're still a playoff team when you hear their schedule and look at the fact that they are just 6-5 and they may struggle and probably be underdogs 2 of the next 3 weeks?
I still feel like they can make the playoffs. I look at a team in Los Angeles that has talent, and talent trumps everything in my opinion. You talk about the deep balls. When they were 4-1, that's when we were all excited about the Chargers because they were connecting deep down the field, those beautiful rainbows that Justin Herbert throws. The run game is something that we'll have to pick up because right now they are pedestrian, in my opinion, in running the football with Eckler, with Jackson, whoever's going to line up back there. that day will have to find success running the football. Defensively, on paper, you like the pieces that they have, but we still haven't seen a complete defensive effort yet from the Chargers. You talk about that pass rush. So even on the Teddy Bridgewater touchdown run, Bosa takes it inside track.
Do they have the talent?
They have
on
a talent.
defense to give you?
Absolutely.
You like the talent on
the
defense.
talent there, and at the end, talent will trump everything.
And you think on defense that's a talented unit. They've had trouble against the run. Do they have the people? I mean, I know they got Bosa coming off the edge. They got some names. They got, it's sexy. They got the powder blue uniforms. They got the bolts and all that. But can they dig in the trenches and stop a big old offensive line and someone coming downhill?
When they are better than you, talent-wise, yes, that's the question. So yeah, they'll beat the Giants, but it'll be tough for them to beat these other teams. They have to find that consistency.
JJ, what do you think of the D?
Well, I'm okay with the defense again. They just need to be middle of the road. We're talking about an AFC that has 12 teams as it stands right now, at least 500. Right now, the LA Chargers are in the 7th spot. And so you talk about Cincinnati. That is going to be a wild card game where it's head-to-head. You got to win that one. They've already faced the Chiefs and know what they get with the Chiefs. That's going to be a one-possession game there on Thursday night in a couple of weeks. They have to take care of business against the Giants, but it's really difficult when you start projecting what the AFC is going to look like when you have 8 teams right now that are on that are in that wild card hunt, not to mention the teams that are going to be able to win their division. 12 teams, again, at least at 500 right now in the AFC. Wonderful parity in the NFL.
All right, so that's where we are with the Bolts and the Chargers and in the AFC. Now, 2 NFC teams both hoping to make the playoffs on the cusp. Vikings, San Francisco. And, of course, it's the Vikings, so it was going to be very close late. How did it go down? You'll find out straight ahead. Yeah, HQ.
Do you want a sports network that delivers everything that matters about the game? The highlights, the picks, the instant analysis, no yelling, no fake debates, no politics. Hit the subscribe button and never miss a moment.